Let's take a quick look at the determinant of a matrix. So what is the determinant of a matrix? The determinant of a matrix is a scalar value that can be computed from the elements of a square matrix and encodes certain properties of the linear transformation described by the matrix. The determinant of a matrix A is noted as determinant of A this or this. So I know that this definition might look complicated, but I just want to think about it as this. So a determinant, just think of it as a singular value that can be used to represent a matrix. If you have a matrix now and you're looking for a singular value that can be used to represent the matrix, that value is called the determinant of the matrix. And you can only find the determinant of a square matrix. That is very important to note. And if you recall our definition for a square matrix is one in which the number of the rows is equal to the number of columns. So how do we do that? First, let's look at how to find the determinant of 2 by 2 matrices. So in the case of a 2 by 2 matrix, the determinant may be defined as follows. So if you have a matrix made up of A, B, C, and D, I want to find the determinant, you just change the square brackets to just this line, these two lines of A. So the way you go about it is that you subtract the diagonals from each other. So here you just say the first diagonal is A times D. So you write A times D minus the second diagonal here is B times C. So it becomes A times D minus B times C. So that is how to find the determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. Let's look at an example. So here we are told that if C is equals to this, we will find the determinant of C. So now the determinant of C will just be the subtraction of the diagonal. So here we say that the first diagonal is 5 times 4, then minus second diagonal is minus 1 times 3, and what does that become? 5 times 4 is 20 minus, then minus 1 times 3 is minus 3. So what does that become? 20 minus times minus is plus 3, and that becomes what? 23. So the determinant of this matrix is what? 23. Now let's look at how to find the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix. So now when you have a 3 by 3 matrix, the first thing we want to do is we want to transform this 3 by 3 matrix into a 2 by 2 matrix. And since you know how to find the determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix, you can easily proceed from there. So here we have the elements A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. So how do we find the determinants? So the first thing you have to do is to make use of this sign convention. So the first thing you want to do is to write a plus here, a minus here, and a plus here, and these are called the polarity. And I'm not going to explain how they are gotten. I just need you to just know that you have to add plus, minus, and plus to the elements in the first row. So when you do that, the next thing you want to do is to convert each of these elements A, B, and C as a factor of a 2 by 2 matrix. So the way you do that is you take the first element A now, like we have here, and you draw a vertical line across A, and you draw an horizontal line across A also. When you do that, you have plus A, and what is left underneath, you have E, F, H, and I. So you have plus A into bracket what? E, F, H, and I. Next thing you want to do is you want to go to the B element now, and in that B element you have a minus at the front. So you are going to have minus B as shown here. So what you want to do is you want to draw a line vertically across and horizontally across element B. And when you do that, as you can see, what elements are you left with? You are left with D, F, H, G, and I. So you have D, F, G, and I. And you do the same thing to the third element here, which is C. So I draw a horizontal line across and a vertical line across, and I have plus C. Now what am I left with? D and E, G and H. So I'm left with D and E, G and H. So this reduces to A into bracket. What is left here? E, F, H, I minus B bracket G, F, D, F, G, I, and T, then D, E, G, H. So now that we have written it in terms of a 2 by 2 matrix, you already know how to calculate the determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. You just what? Subtract the diagonals. So this becomes what? EI minus HF as shown here. This becomes DH minus GF as shown here, and this becomes DH minus GE as shown here. So let's look at an example to illustrate this point. So we are told to find the determinant of this 3 by 3 matrix. So what do we want to do? As I've mentioned, the first thing we want to do is we want to convert to a 2 by 2 matrix, and the first thing that we have to do, we first add the polarity, and the polarity is going to be here. We have a plus here, a minus here, and a plus here. So this is going to be, so for the first element in the first row, now what do? We draw a line across it both horizontally and vertically. So I have what? Plus 1, and what am I left with? I'm left with 5 minus 1, 2 and 0. Left with 5 minus 1, 2 and 0. Then the next element I have here is what? 3. So I'm going to have minus 3, minus 3. And what am I going to be left with here? When I draw a vertical line, a horizontal line and a vertical line, I'm going to be left with 4 minus 1, minus 3 and 0. So I'm left with what? 4 minus 1, minus 3 and 0. And for the last element here, which is this 2 plus 2, I'm going to draw a line vertically and horizontally. And what am I going to be left with? I'm going to have plus 2. And I'm going to be left with 4, 5 minus 3 and 2. About 4, 5 minus 3 and 2. So now we can easily solve this 2 by 2 matrix. So what does that become? So that becomes 1 into bracket. Here becomes 5 times 0, 0 minus 2 times minus 1 is minus 2, so minus 2. Then this becomes minus 3 into bracket. 4 times 0 is 0 minus 3 times minus 1 is what? Plus 3. So you have 3. And finally, I have plus 2 into bracket. 4 times 2 is 8 minus 3 times 5 minus 3 times 5 is minus 15. So that becomes what? 0 minus times minus is plus. So 2 plus, that becomes plus 2. So plus 2 times 1 is 2. Then this 0 minus 3 is minus 3. Minus 3 times minus 3 gives me plus 9. And I have 8 minus minus 15. Minus times minus is plus. And 8 plus 15 is 23. 23 times 2 is what? 46. So when I add these three numbers together, I have what? 57. So the determinant of M is 57. So this pretty much sums up how to find the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix.